welcome all of my Avant gardening viewers to beautiful Prestwick Country Club. Now, to get started, I just saw Chef Billy. Whoops, we need to get rid of the music. I think Becky's probably on it. We just saw Chef Billy go in the opposite direction, but I want to tell you he was so careful about your lunch today, wanted to reflect the flower theme. Hope you all love the pansy and the soup. You know, we're getting accustomed to this, I think, now. Okay. And if you didn't care for dessert, that's my fault. I said, Alicia, whatever it is, I want it to be chocolate. So, you know, I think he did a great job. All right, I wanted to thank FCTV for being here today. We'll give them a couple weeks to edit this program, and then you will see it on FCTV. You go to the Village's website, look for the FCTV schedule, and look for the Avant Gardening Show, and you'll get to see the backs of your heads, probably, and see a repeat of the very show you're going to see today, of course. On your chair, you probably noticed you got some very heavy magazines to take home. I want to thank Fiancé Couture for their bridal magazines. And you may think that why would we have bridal magazines? But they have a lot of flower ideas and arranging ideas in the bridal magazine. Also on top of that, you'll see Flower Magazine. You are receiving the very first copy that has ever been printed, a Flower Magazine. This is brand new, and we're including a coupon for a discount subscription. And I think when you see the flower arrangements in this magazine, you'll think this is something fun to have at home and give you ideas. Door prizes. The Becky's arrangements today will be used as door prizes. You've got your one little ticket, and I'm sorry to say, not the containers. She brought some of her favorite containers today, so those we are not giving to you, but if you win the door prize, flowers go home with you. Also, in the center of your table, you'll notice just enough adorable bottles with a hyacinth for you to take home as a favor today. Now, my biggest thanks today go to Becky Dees and Cindy Morgan of Bouquet Flowers. This is such a wonderful flower shop, small but mighty, and you may not even know where they're located, next to the Historical Society, in between them and the financial building on the corner. A couple of years ago, I started seeing really great flower arrangements at parties, and I'm thinking to myself, who did these? They are so contemporary, so sleek, so gorgeous. Often even have flowers that I did not recognize. And you got to go a ways for me to not recognize flowers. So I was really impressed. When you came in today, I hope you noticed there was a beautiful orange and gray succulent arrangement right in the entryway. Well, I have finally trained my boys to send their mother flowers for Mother's Day from Bouquet. So I thought we needed just one extra bouquet arrangement, so I brought over my Mother's Day flower arrangement is in the entryway, so be sure you look at it when you leave. But this is a wonderful flower shop located on Kansas Street, and today we have for you some delightful arranging with Becky and some sweet spring bouquets. Becky.
Thank you. Hi.
And assisted today by Christy.
Yes. Wow, ladies, what an introduction. Seriously. I hope to wow all of you today. What I'd like to begin with, and please, this is so informal. If you have questions, please shout them out or raise your hand if you want to go that route. Anything that you're curious about flower-wise, arranging-wise, how to keep things fresh, just please let me know as we go. And not you, Laura. All right. I already shut her down. Are we okay with that? I'm kidding. Okay. All right, the first thing we're going to start with is what I like to call a bouquet signature arrangement, okay? We tend to use these cubes quite a bit, and I like them because they're very versatile. We can change them up for seasons. For Valentine's Day, we might take rose ribbon and put it around there. For Christmas, we might wrap it with a velvet ribbon to start off with. But since it's spring, we're going to do something a little brighter, okay? Few ideas. Let's start with curly willow first, okay? You want to grab that.
Are we going to be using this?
Yes, yes, this is another option.
Can I just comment on this?
Yeah, let him touch
One of
it,
the
too.
first arrangements I got from Bouquet had a beautiful, evidently the signature container, and beautiful stems, neatly trimmed, sticking out just a little bit, and this is in the water. And I am looking at this and I am thinking, what can this be? Is this a pink croton or tea leaf that's curled around in there? So, you know, but I didn't put my hand in to see how it felt. When I take the arrangement out, I discover these florists, aren't they so clever, came up with something that looks like the variegated tea leaf, and it is in there and so cool. So anyway, just had to put that in because, yeah, I thought this was a great invention.
And then pull me the lilies and the orange tulips and the king protea. Okay, so when I start off with an arrangement, a lot of you who have maybe gotten arrangements from various other florists, it's usually a container that has a lot of foam in it. Do we know the Oasis, the green stuff? You know what? I tend to shy away from Oasis only because I feel that flowers last much longer when they're straight in water. I mean, it's just, Oasis has come a long way. Yes, it will last in there, but I think it's a cleaner look, and the flowers obviously love it when they can go straight into water versus Oasis. So that is why I tend to use straight water. Okay, so my first little trick here is I took some curly willow, and see I'm already working without even telling you what I'm doing here. Sorry about that. So I started with curly willow, and there's actually a tree going down Elsner that sheds this in the summer. And I go and grab some, okay, and it's fresh, it's very pliable. When it dries, it's crunchy and hard, and it's not that fun to work with. But when it's pliable like this, I mean, you can do all sorts of things. So I started with this, and what I do is I'm just going to put it in the container and just shove all your pieces in there. And what it's doing is it's giving me a base to arrange flowers in. Does anybody work with frogs or something to help you hold arrangements or hold flowers? It's a lot easier when you do this, that your flowers will stay in there nicer, okay? All right, so that's the first trick. That's an option. I'm going to take it out and show you a couple other things, and then we'll make the arrangement.
And just as a gardening note, if you take this home and put it in water, it will root, and you can start the tree yourself in your back 40.
Yes.
And
Yes.
have it forever as your flower frog.
Okay, here's the other option. Okay, this is the ribbon. Okay, does everybody see that? All I did was just line it through there, and it looks like real leaves, doesn't it? Okay, and the nice thing about it is it's not going to grow bacteria and make the water bad and help make the flowers die. So there we go. And then my last option, aspidistra leaves, if you do. Which we do a lot of, is we will line it with actual leaves. Now, these are aspidistra leaves. I'm proud to say leather leaf has never made it into our flower shop, okay? Just if you know what leather leaf is, it's typically what is in an arrangement as a filler green. And there are so many fabulous filler greens. Why use leather leaf if you don't have to? And this is just as inexpensive as leather leaf, and it's a lot more fabulous, I think, okay? So what you would do, you would cut off the stem. I'm like not talking while I'm working. So like this, and then you would take a few leaves, and what I look to do is I take the pointed side and make sure that that covers the side that I cut. Okay? Can everybody see that okay? All right, so that's just a couple of the leaves. All right? And then it hides your stems. But sometimes I have really pretty stems from kale or other things that are purple, and I like to see them, so I will choose to use not this method, but probably some curly willow or nothing at all. But because the curly willow is fabulous and somebody will be taking this home, I'm going to put that back in and we'll make the arrangement. I'm sorry? Just take your little card, your ticket, and fold it, and maybe we'll pick yours, okay? All right. Yes, please. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these beautiful Casablanca lilies. And these lilies are dynamite. These aren't the same lilies that you're going to find at Jewel, ladies. They really are not. The scent is magnificent, and the quality is just dynamite, okay? every single bloom will open for you. Okay? So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stems. Okay?
And again, this is a flower that you can grow at home. You can buy Casablanca corms, bulbs, and grow this lily at home.
Okay, now take a look at this thing. Anybody know what this is? Okay, good. It's a protea. It's a king protea. And I'm telling you right now, they must have known that I was coming to show you, ladies, because I have never seen a prettier one than this.
It's
okay?
gorgeous.
It's just magnificent. Okay, and what we're going to do, I'm making a hand bouquet. So I've got the stems in here, and I'm going to add my protea. I obviously want this to be the focal, so I'm going to put it down in front. Okay? Now, this is where I'm starting at. I'm holding on to everything in my hand, and now for some color, some added color, I'm just going to feed in the tulips. And I'm just taking my hand, opening it up, and placing the tulips in there. Okay? So you start with your base.
You like that?
And I'm starting with, thank you, so kind. I started with my lilies because they take a lot of the room. I could have started with the protea, but I really wasn't sure where I was going to put it until my lilies came into place. Okay? There's that. Let's add a few more for color. And look, you can just feed them through the lilies so they pop out. And looking around the back, so in case anybody comes this way. And with the lilies, as soon as they open, you want to take the stamens out, okay? Because what it's going to do is damage the lilies and stain them. So, I mean, I love the way they look. They're pretty, they add some texture to the flower, but they're just trouble. Okay, they open, they turn yellow, and then the flowers look, I don't know, I think they look old too soon because they're all full of the yellow mess.
And have any of you ever gotten this on a blouse or brushed by the stamens? And best way to get rid of it, you lay it out in the sunshine. Within 10 minutes, it's gone. I cannot tell you why that works. I'm just telling you it does.
I didn't know that either, so that's good. Okay, so here's my bouquet, and my last thing I want to do is maybe add some foliage. I don't really have to add any foliage, but I wanted you to see this umbrella fern. Can you tear off
Great
that one?
fern.
No, the one on the end. Yeah. You want the whole thing off? No, just the bit there. Okay. This is umbrella fern. It comes from New Zealand. And what I'm going to do, it's, or they call it collar fern, because what it does is it makes a collar for the arrangement. Okay? I like the oohs and ahs. Keep it going. That gives me, like, incentive.
Yes.
Okay? So there we go. Okay. Now, we want to place it in here. So, what I try to do is eyeball it. I'm going to get out my garbage. Whoops. Okay. I think that's still too long. These are great clippers. We were at the Flower and Garden Show at Navy Pier 2 years ago. And you know how they have that whole section of people selling stuff now? I mean, it's a bit overwhelming. I think it's too many vendors there. But anyway, these clippers really do work. And they're for very chunky stems. We use it for curly willow. And there's not even a name on here, so I can't even help you out with that. But some of their products do actually work. We use it for any chunky stems. And then you're probably wondering how we secure the arrangements. And there's a few different ways. Zip ties. Ooh. Bouquet's best friend, okay? Because what happens is you secure it and it stays put, okay? Really good. But because you might see it here, and there's different ways we can show about hiding that, we might use this binding wire, okay? All right? And then another great bouquet love is fish line, okay? Fish line, we use it all the time because then we don't have to hide our work. And what I mean by that is we don't have to hide the zip tie. I mean, the zip tie is green, but I don't want to be having dinner and seeing a zip tie in my bouquet. But to make things quick so we can move on to the next one, I am using a zip tie for this one. But why don't you grab a piece of lily grass, if I brought any, or something that we can hide it, okay? And anytime you see how this leaf is just down here, we want to take that off because leaf in the water means bacteria, means your flowers will die sooner than normal. And anytime we send you an arrangement, in the water, we have food in the water. But let's say your water's getting a little cloudy, you don't like what it looks like, empty it, take a cap full of bleach, put it in, and then fill it back up with water. Your arrangements are going to last a lot longer, ladies, if you change the water frequently. And I'm talking every couple days, okay? Yeah, okay, so here's my zip tie. And I don't like the fact that you see it. So I'm taking these beautiful greenery, it's called challah, and I'm just wrapping it around. The bleach does not kill the flowers, no. It just makes the water. Okay. Now wait a minute, look at this. And my mic is falling down my shirt, so give me 1 second. The mic fell down my shirt. Woo, there we go.
We'll all be watching for that on.
Yes, edit that part, please.
They do edit the show.
Yeah, that would not be good. Okay, so what are you going to ask me? How much does this cost, right? Okay, I saw it. I saw it coming. Okay, this King Protea, what I would sell in the shop would be $25. Okay. But do you know how long this is going to last you, this King Protea? 3 weeks, 4 weeks, okay? So that alone in a vase would be a dynamite thing to have. And this is a great time to mention it. At Bouquet, we have a great service where we will do monthly flowers, okay? Let's say your significant other, or let's say you want to come in and order flowers from us. Each month we would come to the house, bring you flowers, and what we do is we change out the containers so that the money you spend is going on flowers versus containers. You do not need another cabinet full of glass containers, do you? Or you can bring us one of your favorite containers and we'll fill it with that, okay? So something like this in one of your favorite containers that you can enjoy for 3 weeks, is that not worth it? Okay? Yes?
Is that going to open up more?
No, that's what it does. Yeah. It's
Well,
fuzzy and furry.
And the King Protea will dry
Yes.
as a dried flower, so it basically will last you years because you
Right.
can just put it in one of your containers you don't want to put water in, and the thing sits there and looks just about, it'll change a little bit of color, but lasts
I
forever.
figured it was,
Yes, Donna?
okay. You know what, I don't. What you can do is you can just bind them a little closer at the neck. I like when they're floppy. Like these are parrot tulips, and they'll all open all pretty for me. But if I wanted them to stay together, I would take, do I have any more tulips, or did I use all of them? Here's a few. I would take them and bind them a little closer like that. I would take my whole bouquet and use fish line or something to keep them looking like this. Depends what look you're going for, okay?
And isn't there something that tulips move up to the light so that if you have light above them, then they all stand up straight?
Okay, and I learned that the hard way because we had a wedding that we did bouquets with tulips, and I looked at it the morning of the wedding, I'm like, why are all those tulips up higher than I placed them? Well, that's exactly what they do. They go to the light. So, you know, it's 9 o'clock and my bride's getting her things at noon, and I'm, you know, taking apart all the bouquets and bringing down the tulips extra low so that they don't do that again, okay? All right, now looking at this arrangement, and you're thinking, okay, well, the tulips are probably gonna be the first thing to go, right? All right, well, when you're looking at this arrangement, or say this big blossom looks a little expired, the best thing to do is just go through your arrangement and clip off the pieces that don't look good, all right? And leave the pieces that look great. The best compliment I think I ever got from Bouquet was like, on Facebook, somebody said, you know what, your bouquets look good even dead, or even dry. I mean, was it you?
5 years. I didn't put it on there, but.
Well, that's a great compliment, because you know what, I love clients who will take a bouquet, take the things out that don't look great, and still have other things that do. Like this will dry real pretty, this you'll have for a long time, and there you go, okay?
Beautiful.
All right, so that's that one. The gold one, yeah. Okay.
Why did I walk this around?
Yeah, absolutely.
you can see it up close and personal. You might want to feel the protea. It really is.
Yeah, we'll do 3.
Isn't that amazing?
No, we'll do that. I'll do that at the end. I'll show them that.
Proteas don't really have much smell.
Oh, I smell some.
Oh, that's the lilies.
Oh.
Yeah, heavy duty fragrance. Isn't that
More
wild?
water or no? Okay. Okay, any questions on that arrangement? Oh, I didn't give you a price, did I? Okay. If that was a monthly arrangement and we were getting the, let me see, did I say 7 stems, 7 times 10?
Yeah. They've got a few
Okay,
more
that
leather
arrangement would be
wraps, so lilies
$150.
that come out.
Okay?
It's protea.
Because I do have 10 stems of those lilies, and those lilies, again, each of those flowers will open, okay? But let's say you loved it, didn't want to spend that amount of money. We'd take the king protea out, and I would make a smaller version in a smaller cube at a price point somewhere 40. Who can't do 40 for somebody, okay? And we could still use the lilies, we could use the tulips, still use the curly willow, and it would look dynamite still, okay? All right. All right, tablescape number 1 here. We just got these great containers in. Check them out, okay? Kay got the one for Mother's Day, the smaller version in silver, and this is a gold one. And I'm pretending I'm having a dinner party. In fact, we did do this for somebody for a birthday party. I've got a chunk of Oasis that I've soaked in water. All right, so this one I am going to use Oasis only because this container is very shallow. And when you have a shallow container like this, the flowers will flop over. Okay, so this is going to allow me to put them in there. They're going to get a drink of water and stay put where I stick them. Okay? Has anybody ever used Oasis? Okay. So what happens is you put it in a bucket of water and it drops to the bottom, and then you know it's soaked. All right? If it's still floating on the top, it's not ready for you to take out. So I am not even going to secure that in there because it's nice and heavy. And then you always want to add extra water. And this is water that I have food in it as well, because that's important so your flowers last longer. Okay? All right. So here's my Oasis, and what we're going to start with are these beautiful snowball viburnums. Does anybody have these growing anywhere or have seen these? Dynamite, right? And they only look great this time of the year. I'm sorry, any questions? Okay. All right, so I'm using clippers. I used to be just a knife girl, but I'm telling you what, sometimes, you cut yourself one too many times, and you start to become a clipper gal. So these are clippers that we get at the market, inexpensive, but they do the trick, okay? So the party that we did was at a different country club. I won't mention that, but it was.
But they have other ones, other proteas that are
We used very chartreusey green tablecloths and a shantung, so it had a little bit of a, and we do linens too, by the way, if you're ever doing dinner parties and need linens. Had a little bit of a sheen to it, and then the napkins were this coral color, and then we did the coral charm peonies and some other things that I'll show you. But these containers make all the difference. But you know what, ladies? The containers, Christy went and picked them up today. So it was just a small nominal fee to rent the containers. So again, the client didn't need 5 of these and 6 of these, okay? So she rented them and had a great looking dinner party, but without the expense of buying all the containers.
Where do you go to rent those?
Well, I purchased them.
Oh, okay.
I purchased them and then allow you to rent them.
I see.
Becky, talk a little bit about where the protea comes from.
Sure.
Australia, Africa? I forgot.
New Zealand.
Close.
Ding, ding, ding.
All you people I told.
And we get our flowers from usually every day, every other day, from various markets around the city. And what's great, with the way that they're putting things together as far as logistics, I mean, we can get things pretty fresh very quickly, all right? The best news I had was for all of my August brides. Peonies are such a popular flower for brides. Well, August is about the only time, August, September, that you can't get them. Well, they're starting to grow them in Alaska. Okay?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And last year
knew?
was the first time that we were able to get peonies in August. They were small and they weren't the prettiest things, but each year they will get better and better. And the first ones that came were red, and then this year we should see white, and then the coral charm, which is my favorite. You can see.
Wow.
The coral charm will be the year after that. But I mean, talk about that. I mean, for the wedding business, that is huge. Okay? All right, so basically what I'm doing is I'm just measuring how far I want the viburnum to come out, clipping it, and then poking it right in the oasis.
I missed your explanation for this because I was marching around. Is this snowball?
Yes.
Viburnum?
Snowball.
Now, I don't know if this particular one, if you can start it in your yard, but you can grow this in your yard. It's a very old plant and will get white. That really looks like a snowball.
Okay, so
Want
this.
these away?
Okay, so this would be my main attraction. And we actually did 3 of these down the table. It was a table for 14. So it was a very wide table, and one of these would not cut it, okay, because the width of the table was probably from here to the end of that table. So we did 3 of these, and it looks so much nicer than doing one long arrangement, okay? Want to hand me those other ones? These aren't filled, but you can just see how much space they take up. Okay, so if you had a long dinner table, okay, much better look than trying to do one long piece. Okay, so we did that, and then we also added these gorgeous vases, which we used for a wedding last year, which I just keep renting out again and again. Aren't they beautiful? You can either put a candle in them, or you can put flowers in. And when a candle's in them, and it's evening, I mean, just gorgeous. Okay. Yes, I actually put them upside down and hung them from one of our big manzanita branches at the shop. Yes, thanks, Laura. It was pretty. Okay. So in order to add a little bit more color, we did this, and then hand me the mocaras. Then we used the mocara orchids. These are orchids from Thailand. Okay, this color is, I think this one's Orange Blossom is the variety. And what I want to do is just cut them a little bit to go in this vase here. And what I keep getting stuck there. What I did is I took the blossoms, just so you can see what I did. And if I didn't like any of the lower ones that were maybe bruised, I just pulled them off and made a nice pretty cluster. Okay? We're going to cut those. Okay. And look at that. Okay? So we have this, and then we have a couple of lower vases. And to pull in a little bit of color, let's do the roses. Start with those. Yes. And look at these roses. I mean, look at the heads on those. Okay? And I chose these because they are wide open. I'm having a dinner party. I don't want my roses to look like, they've been in the refrigerator for, 10 days and haven't had a drink of water. I want them to show color, and I want them to look beautiful. So I will take my most open roses and use them because they will give you the most color. And then I will go around, and any petals that don't look great, I'll just pull them off. And I want to take all of my foliage off. Because again, what happens when foliage hits the water? Bacteria, and it shortens the life for your flowers.
So you've already learned how to get more mileage, more time out of your arrangements.
And then, Kate, tell them what happens if you have a rose and you want it to open up a little bit.
There's, how often you get roses that are pretty tight buds. You can go in there and very gently keep pulling them open. It takes a little while to work this open, and you can then even, what do they call that, when you retroflex or something?
Yes,
the
and I'll
petals.
show that.
Show them that, because that's another look with your rose that is totally different and changes the aspect of the flower. Yes. Oh.
See what it's doing to the rose? And then that could be, you could do a whole table with just the bud vases that are on your table now, line those up, and just open up your roses like this and do them different heights. Okay? All right, so I'm just taking the roses and I'm making myself a mound. And you'll notice that I'm using, in this particular setting, I'm using all the same flowers in each of the vases. And I really like that look. I mean, the first arrangement we had 3 different types of flowers. I don't like to do more than 3 different types of flowers in an arrangement because I think you tend to lose textures and colors by mixing too many things together. Okay? So here I clustered my roses. I'm going to look over here and measure to see how much to cut off. And the thing is, if you use more open roses, you won't need as many. There's 8 roses in here. Okay, now look at that. Okay? And just to add a little bit more fuel to this and interest to the dinner party, because I love when people are like, ooh, what's that flower? So you've already started a conversation, especially if you're having people over that aren't your normal dinner guests. So now I'm taking the anthuriums. Okay, look at this color. I mean, you usually see them in red, right? Okay. We usually carry them in the shop every color but red, because I don't like to carry things, like 3 more. I don't like to carry things that you can see at some of the other stores, right? What's the point? I'd rather have you walk in and say, wow, I've never seen that color, okay? So the funny thing about anthuriums, though, you get one that looks like this. What do you do with that, okay? They do have stems that are a bit pliable, okay? So how I'm going to get that one to work is I'm going to tuck it underneath the other ones, okay? And if you just work with it a little, it'll bend for you. And all the anthuriums that we get, we buy by the case so that they're packed nicely and they don't get damaged. Because at some of the wholesalers, they will sell them to you individually, but by the time 3 people have touched them, they look horrible. Okay? They don't like to be touched a lot.
Well, and this is a flower that comes in a lot of sizes and colors. And actually, there's a chartreuse that's the color of the snowballs that is just
pretty.
Gigantic thing.
There's 2-toned anthuriums, beautiful, green and
Yeah,
white.
those are great.
I'm using a zip tie because if I let go of this, these will all, come apart. Use my zip tie, cut it off. Okay, and there's my table scape. Okay. Keep it going over there. Any questions on any of the flowers or colors? And again, yes.
If we wanted to order something like those random orchids,
Cindy's at the shop, so just go ahead and, absolutely.
you would order that for us if we want to do something in our house by ourselves?
Definitely. And here's what I'd like to offer and extend to you ladies is that, you know what, I'm all about presentation. And I'm sure if you're here, that's probably what you like as well. What I'd like to offer to you is my service of coming out to your home, free of charge, to check out your space where the dinner party is being held. So that I can see your decor, I can see your color scheme, your china, anything that you love, and we can walk the house and see where you'd like flowers, if you need linens. And this is a service that I normally charge for, but I'm going to extend it to all you ladies. If you just mentioned that you attended this luncheon, I will come and then see what your house looks like, what you would like. We'll sit down, walk through the house. Yeah, I'd like an arrangement in my foyer. I'd like an arrangement on my dinner table. I'd like one in the bathroom. Never forget the bathroom. That's always a big one.
Never forget the bathroom.
Yes, love to have little flowers there. Or if you just wanted me to make something for your kitchen table or what have you. Okay, so I'd love to come out and see the spaces because I think that makes a big difference. If I visually can see your space, I can make the best arrangement that suits your style, not my style. It's not about me, although sometimes it is, but I'm kidding. It's all about you. Okay, question?
Yeah, this is a good time of the year for lilacs, and other than smashing the stems, is there a way to keep them fresh longer?
What's your answer? No.
No.
There isn't.
The answer is no.
And that's why enjoy them while you can. You know what? I brought some to my mom on Sunday. because as a kid we did that all the time, and
Sure.
I know that they're probably not going to be around much longer than tomorrow, but once you cut them.
The ones in the back of your chair, we cut this morning and just didn't even put them in any kind of water, just put them in the back, and you know the bows are holding them up.
These. How are we doing on time, okay?
Well, I think so.
Okay.
It's 2.
Cindy's wondering why you're not talking about her very much.
Cindy's wondering why I'm not talking about her. We have, my sister and I are partners. I guess I should mention that. I am so fortunate to have 3 fabulous sisters and a family who all get involved with the flower shop. My daughter Fiona, who's 11, was there on Saturday. She loves running the credit cards through, any numbers, you know. So that was good. My parents came and broke down boxes, you know, because we had so many flowers that came in. So real fortunate to have a great family that is involved with me and makes it all worth it. So we put everybody to work. It's like the girls bring their friends. It's like, okay, clean some flowers, do what you can. So anyway, is that a good plug for? All right, good. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this was my first idea for the dinner party that was that I did the gold pieces for. You know, she told me to do whatever I wanted to, and then I was talking to the lady who was doing the food, the menu, and she's like, well, she mentioned to me she wanted elegant. So when I heard that, I had envisioned what I'm going to make for you now, but it just wasn't, I wouldn't call it elegant. It's cool and fun. So I went the gold route, okay? But this is what I wanted to do for her. So I'm going to put it together for you. Okay. This is something my carpenter, who's a great guy, Frank, made for me. I called him up one day and I explained to him what I wanted. And he took, these are poles from closet poles. Okay. So he made the form for me. Okay. And what I did is I covered it with sheet moss. And I purposely didn't connect it because this is what it looks like. And it comes in long sheets.
Let me walk around with it.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
bring it back to the
no
arrangement
problem.
here, but
It
this
comes
is
in
really
long
interesting.
sheets, so I was
you can see
able
what
to
it looks
wrap
like.
it around here. Now, where would I use
that
this?
not
I
amazing
would
how they
use
do
it
that?
if it was,
But it's real plant
and the
material,
table
but
size
dry.
changed too. It was supposed to be a table
I don't know
double
if they
wide
hot
of
glue it
this,
or what, but-
and then 2 long. So imagine these 2 pushed together and then double wide. So this was going to go in the center, and then another one was going to go over here.
It's not fresh, it's
Okay,
dry,
so you can still see, because I don't want any complaints, oh, I couldn't talk to so-and-so, all right?
you just call
But
it
you've got to be, use your imagination a little. I mean, who wouldn't want to walk into a room and see these flowers hanging down and what
You gotta
have you,
buy
just to be
burner.
wowed a little
Well, I give
bit,
it to you.
all right? First thing I'm going to use is calla lilies.
We'll ask the question.
Calla lilies are great because you can place them and work them through,
Isn't that wild?
and they don't have to be in water.
Have you used her before?
Okay? They will last. You could set this up, or I could come set it up for you
Wow.
that morning, even the night before, and I wouldn't be afraid that these wouldn't look great. Okay?
This is the sheet moss that she's got around the thing. But see
And
how
I'm
it's-
just feeding
I don't
it
know if
through
they
the
glue
curly
it on
willow.
or what, but it's
So I
regular
covered
plant.
the base with moss, and then I attached the curly willow, and I attached it with florist wire, and I just used just long, thin florist wire and attached the curly willow. Trying to work backwards here. How does this look, ladies? Does this look good there? All right.
But it's dried plant material. I don't know how they adhere it to it.
Okay. I'm going to start with that. And then underneath here, we're going to do a few other containers. Yeah, we'll start with that one. This is a little high for a dinner table. I probably wouldn't use it, but I wanted to bring you a few things that we have in the shop just to show you that we do have some unique pieces. It actually has, is there water in it? It actually has a top to it. And we, this is from a company called 18 Karat, and they do a lot of really
It's dry,
big
yeah, but
pieces.
it's plant material.
I walk into a lot of stores and I walk into a lot of my clients' homes,
know how to
and
stick it on
they
the mesh,
need
but-
upscale, larger pieces versus lots of little
But it was
items.
moss, yeah.
So 18 Karat is a great vendor of ours that has a lot of big pieces, large vases. I'm talking, you know, this big as far as high, and big widths so that they fill a foyer nicely or they fill a niche pretty. So this is just one of our containers. $88 for this with the lid. Very pretty. Okay? So here you go, that's that.
Yeah, I don't know what they use, but it's like,
Yeah. And then I thought, you know what, let's add some interest.
yeah.
And we're going to add this
Oh,
container
it's so flexible,
and this
too.
container.
You'd think it wouldn't be
Okay?
flexible.
Now to go with the callas, I'm going to take cymbidiums. These are cymbidium orchids. They come on usually 18 to 20 flowers on a stem. And one stem in our shop would probably be about $60, but it lasts. Again, you'll have this for 3-4 weeks. As the blossoms expire, you just break them off, okay? So that's going to go in here. Sure, excuse me. All right. Okay. So all I did was cut the stem and place it in there. And then let's do the carnations. Okay. These beautiful purple things here, carnations. I mean, look at that color. All right, carnations.
Becky, I was asked about the carnations, whether
Yes.
these were dyed or whether they actually grow in these colors now.
They do. They grow in the colors. It's a new series called the Moon Series, and there's 4 shades of this purple that are just stunning. And look when you cluster them together, like carnations get a bad rap. But I'm telling you, they are one of my favorite flowers because they're long-lasting. The colors are so vibrant, and you can do so much with them. And if you forget to water, if the vase goes dry, you know what, they're forgiving.
So
You put-
forgiving.
Right. You give a clean cut, and you put them back in, and they'll do fine. But look what happens when you cluster them together. Is that not a great saturation of color? Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those in this green vase, because look how they pop against that green. All right, again, all I did was grab them, and I'm sort of making a mound. The ones in the middle are higher, and then the ones around the ends are a little shorter, so that I get sort of a half circle look here. Okay, and again, I'm going to measure here.
I can see why she didn't want to give up her container. I could use this.
And again, I'm going to take a zip tie. They come in smaller ones. You don't have to use big green ones all the time, but this is just what we had. And I don't want to go too tight because I want them to show off their color. I don't want any to hide. And look, we're just going to plop them in there. Okay? See what that does? All right, and then, yeah, spiders, yeah, perfect. Now, I'm sure all of you have seen spider mums, right? Yep. They come in green, they come in white, they come in lavender. And you know what? When they're in an arrangement and they're just sort of, you know, polka dotted into an arrangement, it's not, you know, I guess I'm just sick of seeing them used that way. So I tend to cluster them together, and look what that does. Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that would be a really nice accent. Oh, I hope I don't cut my wire here. Again, I'm cleaning off the greens. Oh, this doesn't look very pretty. Why don't you ladies tell me? This needs to be turned here, like that. All right. Okay, let's plop that in. See what that does there? And you like the containers different heights. And then in here, oh, this is what I want. Okay, at Bouquet Flowers, and you can ask Chrissy this, we never throw anything away. All right? These are all the greens off of the hyacinths that we placed in your vases. I mean, look at that pop of color. Isn't that dynamite? It's very chartreusey. And these were the little ones, the little extras off the hyacinths. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all these greens and all the extra hyacinths, cut it down low. and then just plop it in that vase. Okay? I don't like what this one's doing, so. And the cymbidiums are another flower that they will last out of water. So it's something that we can do the night before or the morning of and still let you jump in the shower and do your hair and look great for the party, okay? Because I know that's always like a struggle sometimes. All right, and just to add a little bit more into the arrangement, I might take these cymbidium heads, take some wire. I'll wrap some wire around the cymbidium first. And if this had to last for a few days, we could always put a water tube on this. Okay, let's see that. Where's the other one? Ladies are awfully quiet.
I think we're seeing very serious concentration here.
All right, and then my other favorite at bouquet are succulents, okay? These last a very long time, okay? I have some from last year that aren't in water. They're just placed on top of a vase, okay?
Think about that.
Yeah. So, and at the shop, these are $15, okay? But when you have it next May, and you say, Becky, that was the best $15 I ever spent, okay?
Well, Becky,
Yeah, I'll
Becky
pass
and,
one around, sure.
Becky and I had a discussion about this earlier, whether you could in fact root these succulents with rooting hormone or something like that. So Kay is going to do that little experiment, and I'll have to get back to you on that. But my Mother's Day one, we'll be trying that with.
Yeah, so that'll be our test. We'll let
Yes,
the ladies
good
know
test.
next May.
Yeah.
All right, so I just added some wire on there and then added the succulent on there. Okay?
Cute.
I just place it on top of a vase or any container, and it'll live. They're just amazing. So well worth the dollars. Do you ladies want to see a succulent? Should we bring one around? Sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. And Becky, I was asked the question, the snowball bush. What's the Latin name for that again?
Viburnum.
Oh, it was a
Feel it.
I would probably
ham
run
and
a few
chicken.
more callas through here.
What is it? Well, she's cut it off. I don't know if it came with a stem or not.
Do I have anything else, or is that it?
But just a regular succulent, you know. Isn't that wild?
And the great thing about
Yeah,
this
and some
curly
chickens.
willow is you can just take the flowers
And it stays that way?
and wind them
So she says.
around and around.
It's a
Okay, so
succulent.
imagine that on a chartreuse tablecloth. Coral, I probably wouldn't have done coral napkins with this color scheme, but you walk in, you've got a long table, two of these on there.
A little,
I mean,
once in a
dynamite,
while.
right? We like to wow.
Maybe every 2
Okay.
weeks, every 2.5. Yeah, doesn't it?
And these are Dutch hydrangeas.
see this?
Whenever you get a hydrangea that is saturated pink or saturated blue, it's a Dutch hydrangea. If you get one that is a little bit white in there as well, those are from South America.
Isn't that wild?
But the Dutch are my favorite because how can you beat that color? Yeah.
girls see this?
Top 10 flowers that I love to
Feel
work
it.
with and why I like them.
Isn't that
Okay?
wild?
So put them back here, Christy, so I can then bring them up. Okay, first one,
Feels
does anybody know
like
what
it's
this is? Celosia.
she had cut it
This
off.
is called coxcomb celosia.
I wish it had
And
little-
now
I
it's
hope mine has
is
stem.
from now until probably July is the time to buy this. Take a look at that texture. I mean, how can you top that, right? And the colors. And what I like to do is I like to sink it down low in arrangements.
Well,
Look what happens when you
hens and
do
chickens.
this. Because the stems get really soft. Look at that. What a dynamite color combination. Okay? It can get kind of floppy, but don't get nervous about that. Just tuck it in between flowers and it'll do fine. Okay, celosia comes in a bunch of different colors. Love it. From now through July. Kangaroo paw. Dynamite. If you look at the little flowers, it looks like a kangaroo's paw. And it comes in burgundy, and during fall, I mean, this is such one of our favorites for fall because it's long lasting. Again, you'll have to throw this out because you're sick of it, okay? And it comes in burgundy, it comes in orange, and it comes in this yellow. I mean, just dynamite. And when you picture the burgundy, deep burgundy next to pinks, oh, so pretty. Okay, so that's kangaroo paw. Coral charm peony. I mean, my ultimate favorite. Just fill my house with these and I'll be fine. How these work is they open up, they start with a tight ball in this coral color. Now, by, what's today? Tuesday? Wednesday. By Friday, what happens is this starts to turn white. It goes completely white, and then probably next week, Tuesday or so, the petals just drop. But the transformation from watching it this deep coral to white is just phenomenal. And these are $9 at the shop. They're not the cheapest flowers, okay? But the joy of just watching it change the colors, beautiful.
The one that's in my Mother's Day flower.
Yes, and it goes from such a tight bud to opening. And it's a single, well, this is a double. Some peonies don't have that yellow center, but look at that little furry.
That'll help it root more.
I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if we try and make it
All right.
actually grow.
Parrot tulips.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm.
All right.
I'm
They
willing
will
to
open
experiment.
similar to the orange ones, where they open up messy, and I love it. It'll open up wide, and it's one of my favorites. And it's only available. It looks great this time of the year. I mean, I don't bring them in August because they don't look great. And that's another thing about bouquet. You know, you might love something, but if I don't think it's going to be the quality you want, I won't suggest you use it. We'll find something else. There's enough pretty flowers out there that we can figure out something to make it work. Okay? All right. James Story orchids. They come, look at that stem. Okay? They come in yellow, they come in red. Yellow is a new variety. It's only been around for about a year.
Wait to see what happens.
Love to use it in tall arrangements.
Isn't that cool?
Okay.
But this is not winter hardy. We have
Ranunculus.
chickens. That's
Who doesn't
winter
love a
hardy.
ranunculus, right? Anybody have them growing in their garden?
But this is a house plant. House plant.
No?
Yeah.
Come in all different colors. This is a Dutch ranunculus, came from Holland, but California grows some fabulous ones too. I try to buy local too when I can. My first choice would be to get them out of California. If I can't get them out of California, then I go the Dutch route. And that's pretty much with anything we do. We do try to get them local. Oops. Okay. Cresspedia, AKA Billy Balls. Okay? And this is another item that will dry for you, and you can keep it out on a shelf, out of water, and it'll look like this 6 months from now, a year from now. Okay? You want to see what they look like in arrangement? Look what they look like when you... I tend to like them just poking out. All right? And let's put the celosia back in there. Okay? Go ahead and take these apart. Here's my carnation. Look at that color. Another fabulous favorite. Okay, can you see the pretty color?
Great color.
Amaryllis. But look at this is naranja. Is that not beautiful? All of these flowers will open. But again, when they do start to open, take the stamens out because they are, it will damage the flower. Okay? It makes it look a lot uglier before it needs to. All right, but all of these will open. And the color is just so vibrant. I use that in a lot of arrangements. I mean, just stunning. And then if you took a peek at this, this is a pincushion protea. It comes in orange, and it comes in red, and it comes in peach and yellow. And again, a long laster that just gives a little bit of a wow.
And that's the same plant family as the king protea, the
Right.
great big guy over there on the end.
It's a big one.
But they just all have that exotic alien from the moon look.
And just to let you know, we love flowers and we love fresh flowers, but we also do planters. If you had planters in front of your home,
Questions?
yes. See your lovely faces. You're welcome.
Great.
You're welcome. That was
Great,
fun.
thank you.
Oh, are you kidding? Our pleasure.
Well, ladies, that's our conclusion for today. We were going to do our drawing, and don't forget to take home your little present on the table.
Yes.